105.1 The GOAT in New Radio Sports Network. I'm Tim Coles, joined by head coach Mike Peck of the winning Gibraltar Vikings, 53-50. And was that the best jump hug celebration that you guys do at the end of the game ever? Because that was just a ridiculous game.
I think the celebration actually started right after the kick, to be honest with you. I had to try and focus the kids and get them on the 50-yard line. I mean, I know we need to be celebratory, and when we tell our kids a lot, we're trying to get our kids to celebrate our accomplishments. The fact that we just booted a 43-yarder to seal the game is absolutely amazing, and the fact that we were kind of celebrating maybe was a little excessive, but yeah, the one at the end of the game. I mean, what are you going to do? Like, how do you top that game? All of a sudden, halftime, we're not really sure we're going to be able to stop them because we hadn't stopped them the whole game. We make a couple big stops there in the second half, and somehow we end up tied and going to overtime.
Now, take us into halftime a little bit. Obviously, something happened. You looked angry. You don't have to go into too many details, especially if you use some naughty language. You don't have to go into details. But it was a really long conversation. We talked to Marshall and Braden about, how they kind of used that time. What was your time over here on the sideline talking things over with your coach?
Well, it was a little frustrating. There's some plays at the end of the first half there where, I think we've gotten penalized quite a bit in the last couple of weeks, and we kind of stressed tonight before the game started. We didn't want any penalties. We were trying to limit them, and then I think our kids are playing tough and doing the right things, and all of a sudden their kid makes a play and they call something on our kid that doesn't really look. We got the film on the sideline. We can look at it right away, and it's not what it's not what I see live, and then I watch the film and it's even worse, and I can't get a straight answer when I talk to the officials. Nothing drives me more crazy. So I didn't. My mother will be proud of me. I didn't drop any four-letter words. I might not have been very happy and had the right tone with them, but I definitely didn't say any of the magic words because you didn't see the yellow flag come. But yep. We had to sit down and talk and listen. We talk about half times. We very rarely get home cooking. We normally never get on the road cooking. So the fact of the matter is we just know we're not going to get calls. It's kind of disappointing as we like to think our kids play pretty straightforward. I know we like to hit. I know that's one of the mantras we have, but we're going to play hard, but we're going to play within the rules. And it's frustrating when our kids don't get rewarded and that things aren't really called their way. I have their back till the end, but it's just disappointing some nights to see a kid busting his butt in the weight room, and then come Friday night, they don't get the call they should get when they're in the right place doing the right thing.
What was the adjustments that you made on offense? Because it was kind of tough sledding. You were able to get a couple touchdowns in the first half, but it was at will in the second half, including 2 touchdowns in the third quarter, and then obviously you and Algoma just traded blows in the fourth.
Yeah, we made a couple adjustments, and actually, as a matter of fact, one of our touchdowns, I think in the fourth, maybe the third, I can't remember which way we were going, was Brady came off the field. I said, listen, when we go to this formation, they're not covering something, and they weren't. They're kind of, but they really weren't, and that's how one of our touchdowns came. We let him call that play. We were down close to the end zone there the one time, and he made a heck of a throw. He put it right where it needed to be, and a lot of it's just the sight adjustments, things that we see during the week, and what we think they're going to do in the first half isn't always the case. So we get a chance to kind of talk. We got a nice coaching staff. We got some young guys. We got some guys that have been around the block, for quite a while. So between all of our knowledge, we kind of get our heads together, try and make an adjustment here or there. Maybe we take a jab step here. Nothing that we made was transcending. We didn't do anything crazy. We didn't change anything. We just maybe, shifted an alignment here, widened a guy out there, just a couple little things to give us just that slight advantage to get a kid through a hole a little quicker. And all those adjustments just seemed to work out for us in the second half tonight.
What can you say about Will Lacey, who had a heck of a ball game? We joked about it earlier this week. It seems like it's either Braden City or Brady Keita. It's one of the Bradens.
Yep.
Well, Lacey obviously listened to the interview because he made darn sure that his name was going to be called a lot entering the end zone tonight.
Yeah, and he made plays entering the end zone, but, we kind of talked about it. I don't know if we talked much with you, or maybe it was with Chad, but, on defense, it's pretty much Marshall and Will. And quite honestly, I don't think Marshall played a heck of a game. Don't get me wrong, but I think Will had a better game tonight. He came up. He had a lot of solo tackles on Grant when he was out on the edge, where if he it's kind of funny. At one point, Coach Slater goes, well, that was a heck of a play to hold him to 6 yards. And I'm thinking, well, that's not what our defense is designed to do. But he was right when you go back and look at it. If he doesn't make that play, there's another touchdown for Grant Vanderveer. So in the long run, Will Lacey, you're going to say he had a big night on offense, but I think he probably played even bigger on defense for us tonight.
And then final question for you. Obviously, this is going to go down. It's probably one of the more exciting wins, but we also talked about it. You love these matchups with Algoma. Obviously, you have a little bit of a strong tie there as well. This seems like that perfect chess match that you said that it seems like you and Algoma always have.
Yeah, I mean, it's the ultimate compliment to Wade. I talked about it pregame. He made some adjustments. They made, and again, their adjustments weren't huge. They're minor things here and there to move our linebackers a little bit to get them a little bit bigger holes than what they normally had. And we were trying to get our kids to be disciplined. And the fact that, like I told you going into it, this is a chess match, and I love playing these games. I know the kids don't always like, nail biters. I don't know what some of my coaches do, but in the long run, the kids are going to remember this game. They might not remember the first game of the year where we beat Montello, but they're going to remember the fact that we won in overtime on a huge kick at the end of this game.
Unbelievable. Braden City, 43-yard kick to end this one, 53-50 Gibraltar with the victory. Coach, as always, we thank you so much for joining us after not just any game, but a big win for the Vikings.
Thanks, Tim. We'll talk to you later this week.
You've been watching 105.1 The GOAT and New Radio Sports Network.